as leader of the show, and they just, now again, one person will say one thing, and another will say something else. But I was, and one of the things I'd like to ask Avery, because I think I know the answer, is, Avery never really pulled the number one on the call sheet card to the extent that actors do a lot. He never, as far as I know, he never went in and said, guys, it's the hair or I'm off the show, or, I'm a captain, or, he would never do something like that. That's not how Avery worked. He would told me time and again how much he didn't like the look, but he wasn't in there making demands. And sometimes I wish, now that I look back, I wish maybe he had made those demands, because at times I did feel like a prophet in the wilderness and no one else seemed to care, except I think the audience cared more than people wanted to. It was just too many things. Ship is not a ship, it's a station. We don't go anywhere. We have a captain who's not a captain. Blah, 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 down the line.
And it affected his performance-wise, it affected how he carried himself, it affected how he engaged with the show, how he started directing, and suddenly he was just, suddenly he was coming in and, with creative issues, which showed engagement, and it was just because he just felt more comfortable.
So here's a story that maybe, again, you guys can help me with. Do either of you remember what we had been talking about doing in season 4 before the Worf thing came up?
I remember there was another plan.
Yes.
No.
Okay, here's what I think then. If you guys don't have it, I'm not going to sit there and put you on the spot, but tell me if this rings a bell. What I had thought we had planned was, and it would have been bold, and we hadn't gotten it past Rick yet, but we were excited about it, I think. I'm pretty almost positive. Was we wanted to do the founders that infiltrated Earth, which became the two-parter later on.
That's right.
But we were so excited. We were going to blow the franchise apart with making, not the whole season, but a lot of it had to do, Earth became the target.
Yeah.
We kept talking about Earth as the target. Wow, that's, where, paradise, all that stuff. How do you stay paradise with the...
It was destroying the Federation from within. It was all...
Now, we never... Exactly. And we were pumped about that, even though it was all in the planning stage. Yeah. And then there was this thing about would you guys, I guess it was ratings, even though no one wants to, I haven't gotten, but we know the ratings had flattened out, especially towards the end of season 3. And so it was a ratings thing to bring someone in from TNG.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember if we were offered anyone, or was it Worf all along?
I think it was, we think it should be Worf, but what do you think? And I kind of remember some conversations where we discussed other possibilities, but Worf was sort of always the clear one, because Data was sort of briefly discussed, but I think we didn't know where to take that character on Deep Space Nine, or what, because it was kind of then playing against Odo in a lot of weird ways of searching for something else.
Were the features done?
They weren't done. No, they were. I mean, they continued even when we had Worf.
Yeah.
We were in the planning stages of First Contact at that point.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he would. Did they have to explain why he would?
Yeah, and we did. In First Contact, he's on the Defiant at the beginning of the movie. The Defiant is damaged, and he beams aboard at the last minute, just before they do their whole time travel thing in First Contact. But he had been on the Defiant, dispatched to that battle from Deep Space Nine. So yeah, we worked it into the movie.
That's neat.
But
I don't remember any other options. I remember it being. I don't remember you weren't happy about it.
I don't think I wasn't happy about it. I mean, I think
you were a peacemaker.
I was a peacemaker about it, but because it was like, okay, I know how to write. I can write for Worf, and I get the Klingon thing. We can bring that in, but I wasn't excited about it. I kind of felt like, if we have to, I can make it work.
I think you were the one who were like, we all had our reaction.
And I was getting the actor reaction too.
You were getting what?
The actor's reaction. which did not help. They all liked Michael, and they were friends with Michael, a lot of them, but they were really paranoid. Each one had their reasons. Kira thought that her position, her position as Kira would be secondary to Worf, and they all had their concerns. So that was a big concern for me too. And also it was just the fact that, but you had written an episode in season 3. Of course, the title I can't remember, but I remember coming to you and going, there was a line in an episode where a founder says the only thing standing between us and whatever is the Federation and the Klingons. And I said to you, if we're stuck with Worf, that's the way we should go. It was based on that line.
I kind of remember.
And then I made the mistake, or not the mistake, of mentioning it to Rick. And Rick was like, that's fucking brilliant. That's great.